my group had DXP Enterprises out of Houston.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things they do is a lot of safety supplies. So my part was about that stuff. So I covered a little bit of it.
Cool. Nice. Okay, good. It's interesting stuff. Some of you guys are going to change majors, so you should probably pay attention to what other majors are. Some of you are going to get close to graduating and being like, I picked the wrong thing. Don't worry, you'll be okay. All right, so what did you learn about yourself with the grit scale, the grit test? What's
I wasn't too surprised by anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
why?
I felt like I've done a lot to get here,
Mm-hmm.
and that involves some amount of grit because this is a challenging university, scholarship, whatnot.
Okay.
But I'm definitely aware of my faults.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who else?
I felt like the grit scale took like diversified interests as a weakness
Is that what you wrote? When you wrote something like that?
in that line.
So explain what you mean.
Well, it had questions that ranked towards if you're interested in something, can you also develop interest in other things at the same time? I can't remember the question per word, but there are 2 or 3 questions that, if I'm not wrong, went very much in that line.
Okay, sure.
And,
Yeah. Close that laptop. Garza. You want to get it just yet.
And my best guess is that whatever, it took like people who tended towards that direction, it counted that against the grit score, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, are there limitations to that? What are the
Definitely.
limitations?
It's
What-
only 10 questions.
Yeah, fair enough. But what are the limitations of the grit scale, what it tells you?
It only knows what you tell it. So
Yeah,
it
but what are the limitations of the application? If you score a 4 or a 2, what are the limitations with that?
Well, how do I prove that?
Yeah, okay, sure enough. So if you score low, you're like, okay, well, now what, right? Like, how do I improve it? And she even kind of says, we don't really know. There was I don't think she mentions it in this book, I can't remember. They did a massive study years ago with thousands of people to figure out the difference between what made people successful or not. The only thing they could really come up with from all different backgrounds and all different, parts of the country and whatever, was whether or not you had to do chores as a kid. That's what they found. If you had to scoop dog shit when you were a kid, you probably did better. You're probably more successful, right? That's what my dad loves to say, because I make my kids scoop dog poop. He's like, they'll do better in life. I'm like, okay. But it's the old school hard work method, ethic, right? Think about that. Okay. So yeah, look, you found your 5 strengths, right? And then I made you take this grit test, and you're like, okay, what does all this crap mean? Okay. What we're trying to figure out is how this applies, because some of you guys were like, most of you wrote, I think my grit score is accurate based on if I complete tasks or not, right? Like how hard I work. Some of you are like, yes, I don't give up. What you really need to consider then is the passion. You guys were thinking about perseverance and getting tasks done. And what I don't know if what you're thinking about is, do I really care about this? That's the difference. Because I bet if you care, your grit is way higher. So somebody scored really low. Don't take it personally, okay? And we can work on it. There's some great stuff. Again, if you want to get into the book is great. It's an easy read. There's some really solid stuff in there. If you're going to have kids, I highly suggest you read this book at some point, just because it helps you kind of with some things with parenting. One of her things she asks her kids to do is, if you start something, say you want to take piano lessons or you want to play softball or whatever the thing is, right? You can't stop it until there's a natural stopping point. So an academic year, the season is over, right? If you take up softball and you suck, right, she won't let her kids quit until the season's over. But she also asked that they try something hard. You have to do something hard, which is hard for you, all right? And there she's just trying to see how you feel about it. Because sometimes we have things that are hard, but I love to learn to play guitar. I'm not very good at it, but I love playing. And so it's something I enjoy working on, okay? But if you don't enjoy it, then you're probably not going to stick with it, whatever the thing is, okay? Some of you guys who trade, if you're trying to figure out the stock market, it's hard, right? But it's fun to try and see what you can do, or at least learn how to do it, So yeah, there's some limitations with it. Don't take it personally. But what we're kind of working on through all this stuff is figuring out you. We'll get into that a little bit at the end of class. Okay. So today we're gonna have a little fun. Now you can open your laptops or pull out your phone. Come on. Oh, yeah, different password. I have to like way too many passwords for different things. Okay, go to joinmyquiz.com. You can use your phone or laptop, whatever you have. Please enter a name. It doesn't have to be your name. Do you not have anything?
No,
That's outstanding. You don't have a phone with you?
I left it in my room.
That's outstanding. That's okay. Just play along. Oh, look at you. You're so nice. You don't have to put your real name. Please don't put anything inappropriate, as I learned I had to tell students. Then you just enter that code to join it. Well, it's loud. Everybody? Still got one more? So this is like a Kahoot, if you've ever done one. Kahoot started charging, which made me really mad, for polls, if you do a poll. So there's no wrong answers. It's going to appear on your screen. It's not up on the board here. It'll appear on your screen. It's going to ask you, there's, I think, 27 questions. You got about 10 seconds each. Some of the longer ones, I think there's 20, but it should be plenty of time. Just answer honestly and truthfully. Okay, this is about you and what you guys think. Nobody else. Sound good? Okay, everybody good? We ready? All right, cool. Here we go. Turn this down because it's really loud. think about it, huh? Okay, let's go through it. This is a small class, so this should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Most cadets are aligned in their thinking. Majority of you said yes. Who said no? Why, Nate?
I don't think you can have a group of like over 2,000 people all think the same thing. It's just too many people.
Probably so, right? We're all cadets, right? We're all in the Corps, right? Who else said no? Haley, why?
I just noticed in my outfit there's like different like conflicting ways like in how to lead, like yelling or like just talking to the freshmen. So I feel like that's probably for why.
Yep. Okay, where are my yeses? Why, Jack?
We all basically fit the same mold, I'd say.
You think?
Even spectrum, most diverse groups of cadets at the Corps, basically pretty similar.
Okay. Who else said yes? Yeah? What do you got? Why?
Because sometimes my buddies and I are talking and we'll say the exact same thing without even.
How many buddies you have?
How many buddies?
Yeah.
I have 16.
Huh?
16.
Okay. How many people are in the Corps?
Many. At 2,000.
Sample group.
Pretty small sample size. Okay. But a sample size nonetheless. Okay. Who else said yes? Yeah? Why? What do you got, Alex? Alex, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, compared to like the rest of the world, we're all doing pretty good. I mean, you're sitting in khaki, right? So it's pretty aligned.
Is everybody in the Corps same political party?
No.
Same ideologies?
No.
No. Then why'd you say yes?
I believe at the core of, not like Corps cadets Corps, but like at the center of every person, there's more or less an individual motivation that coincides with everyone else's to be in the Corps. Whether even people who want to be in the Army and love the Army and hate the Corps and just want to be here for the Army money, and those who are hardcore DNC,
Uh-huh.
at the end of the day, they're both kind of choosing to submit themselves to a regimented lifestyle and excel in some kind of way. That's
Okay.
a pretty big pattern. That's pretty significant, I think.
Okay. We'll see. All right? You guys can't even agree on your tacos. Okay? Thank God no one said taco casa. I would have made you leave the class. Okay? Who said torchies? The only people that are right. Okay? My two woo guys? Hilarious. Now, okay, but most of you said fuego, right? Why?
It's better.
It's the best.
Variety.
It's open later. You guys usually hit up fuego late night, right? No, you don't have to answer that. Okay.
Early morning.
Early morning, okay? Mad taco? Terrible salsa. But best tortillas,
That's
they make their own tortillas. Torchies does not. Torchies for salsa and queso. Mad taco for tortillas, okay? And fuego for food poisoning, right? Just kidding. They've had some issues. Okay, so hang on to this, Jack, because we can't even agree on our tacos, all right? Now, does everybody like tacos? So we're good. Okay, we'll see, all right? Let's see how it goes. Yes, always. Where are my in and outs? I was worried about this. Chloe, Alex, are you from Texas?
I'm from San Diego.
Oh, so fair. And where are you from, Chloe?
I'm also from California.
Oh, okay. Usually, now there's only like 11 of us here today. Honest to goodness, I usually get one Texan at least per class who says In-N-Out Burger. Blow your mind a little bit? This is sacrilege,
That's bad
right?
bull.
Huh?
That's bad bull.
The fries are the worst thing.
Where?
At In-N-Out.
You know they take the potato and make it fresh right there, just like that?
Their fries, I've never had a good
You've
set
had
of
Texas
fries.
in and out. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, now, yeah, the fries are different. I will give you that. I think they're delicious. They just take a little getting used to. But usually I get a Texan, right, who picks In-N-Out, and everyone freaks out. Okay? And Whataburger's not owned by a Texas company anymore, right? Terrible. Okay. But, okay, so my two Californians pick In-N-Out, and the rest of you guys pick Whataburger from Texas. Anybody not from Texas that pick Whataburger? Yeah, where are you from?
I've never been to In-N-Out.
You've never been there? Okay, so you can't say. So now you have to try it, okay? Objectively. because it's really hard for you guys to look at that objectively. My two Californians were like, in and out, right away, right? Okay? And you guys were like, there's no way, okay? Are we all thinking the same? We'll see, okay? We got ways to go. All right. Liars. Liars. I'm good. I hope learning is exciting to you. I hope it is. I hope that's why you're here, okay? Honestly, sometimes I get no for a few reasons. Sometimes it's their major, they haven't figured it out, and sometimes people just came here because they thought it was the right thing to do. Right? Maybe they don't know what they want to do in life, and maybe it's not that exciting. Okay? I hope learning is exciting to you. That's good to hear. All right. School is challenging. This is another one that can correlate to the last question. Sometimes you guys are bored out of your minds, and it's not exciting. Okay? That's not most of you, but look, it's half of you guys. Okay? More than half. 6 of you guys, it's not that hard for you. Okay? Now, again, could depend on your major. It could depend on where you are in your career. All right? For my no's, who said no? Chloe, why not? Jack, why not?
I mean, I've done pretty good in school since I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's a little bit harder now, but really not all that much.
Okay.
It's just organic, so.
What's your major?
Animal science, pretty good.
Okay, yeah. You too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Is it hard for you?
I said yes, mainly because like, I do struggle with some stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of like goes through high school and I'm like, I remember my first like chemistry course year and I was like, oh dang, I got a 70 on an exam. Like, I was a little heartbroken.
Yeah.
And also like, I think like it's good for it to be challenging. Like it keeps me engaged.
Sure.
Like, I had a repro class last year and like the first assignment was like, oh, you have to think of a new like synthetic hormone to like solve this reproductive issue. And I was like, she's asked me a question as if like I have a PhD in this already. Like,
Right.
it's crazy.
Yeah, okay. And sometimes that's kind of fun, actually. Like if a prof or somebody ever asks you a question, you're like, dude, I have no idea. Okay, sometimes that can be kind of fun because you got to go figure it out, right? And then you see what you're capable of. Okay. A lot of you who like high school is not hard. It tends to be a lot of you guys where it just wasn't that challenging, and then you get here and it kind of hits. Sometimes it hits this year, believe it or not, more so than Fish year. Sometimes it gets into sophomore year as you guys are being heads and you got other stuff you got to do, and you think you got school figured out, and then all of a sudden you get a really tough class, right? Where you get something that throws you off, or you just kind of slacked off and weren't putting time towards academics, and then your GPA suffers, right? That is not uncommon for sophomores, especially if high school wasn't very hard for you guys. So don't feel like you're alone in that boat, right? Preparing me for the workforce. Is it? Are you sure?
I feel like there's been such a big push recently, or at least in the past couple of years, with just the general public complaining about, colleges preparing for me. So I've seen a lot more career readiness stuff, not only here in the Corps, but outside too, or at least in college and geoscience.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you hope it is. Here's the interesting part. There's social media managers, right? It's a job. Have we ever taught people how to be social media managers? A lot of what happens now, and this is the fine line between what the workforce says, and you guys will start seeing it more and more as you get further along. You'll get more and more guest speakers, people from companies who will come and talk to your majors, right, and say, here's the jobs, here's what we want to hire, and all that good stuff, okay? One, pay attention to that. It'll, at some point for you guys, it'll actually start getting mundane as you get later in your career, like, oh, someone else, from such and such industry, right? Pay attention because they're telling you what they want, all right? One, it's getting the degree, you check the box, okay? Two, they're trying to figure out what kind of person you are, right? Which is a lot of what we do in SOMS and career readiness, because it's really easy to make you an engineer, believe it or not. What's way harder is to make you a person with a strong work ethic, strong leadership skills, right? Gets along with everyone, fits into the team. All that stuff is way harder. If every engineering company just wanted to hire a bunch of engineers, they wouldn't interview you, right? Why do they interview you?
Trying to find those soft skills.
Yeah, which to me are the hard skills. It's way easier. Another university, we did a study, was actually at Montana State, and we did a study with employers and what they were looking for with recent graduates. What they found, a couple of things. Across all majors, all students thought they were going to make $100,000 a year out of school. education, like all this stuff, right? Which is hilarious to me because unless you're like petroleum engineering, probably not going to happen. Okay, you can get there, but probably not right out of school. Okay, but two, what they found is a lot of the people at Montana State had a really strong work ethic. A lot more rural, right? So we got a lot of farm and ranch kids, not necessarily majoring in animal science. They're going to business and engineering and all this stuff. They have strong work ethic, but not necessarily the polished skills to put them in front of a room and give the presentation. That's where maybe more like the Ivy Leagues would come along. However, what did they want more? The work ethic or the polished skills?
Work ethic.
Work ethic. Why?
Because it's very transferable. If you have a good work ethic, then you're pretty much too stubborn to not do it.
Yeah.
Grit.
You can fix someone's presentation skills a lot easier than you can kind of.
Bingo. Okay. Just because you present well doesn't mean you're necessarily a hard worker. Okay. But I can teach you how to present. Okay. Much easier than I can instill a work ethic in you by the time you're 22, 23 years old. Okay? So yeah, hopefully this is true. And the thing that we work on is stuff we do in SOMS, believe it or not. Okay, is trying to make you that well-rounded person and all that good stuff. Good job. Okay. My education has benefited from me being in the Corps. What are my guesses? Does everybody understand this question? Sometimes just throws them off. Okay. How has your education benefited from being in the Corps? What do you got, Lenny? Did you say yes?
Yeah, so GPA wise, maybe not the best, but I would say I don't take education from a GPA standpoint. I look at it as, did I actually learn what I'm doing?
Okay.
So I have some upperclassmen that are in my major. I've met a lot of people around the quad that are in my major, and they've talked to me about many things that I can do. I've joined an org.
Good.
Met people in that, and I've gotten to meet a lot of companies because of some connections I've made just within the Corps.
Good. Yeah.
So from that standpoint, and like just meeting profs and all, being introduced to all these people, and since ID is kind of like business engineering, I think I've benefited from that.
Okay. Cool. Who said no? Yeah. What do you got? Go ahead.
I was gonna say no, but I know that just in my major, landscape architecture, they know how much time it requires to put into a project, and they know how much time I have to put into the Corps. So I definitely feel a sense of respect a lot more from my profs and my classmates when they look at some of my work, knowing that I probably had to stay up a lot later than they did.
Okay.
Done.
Okay. Who said no? Why, Nate?
I just don't think I would do that much stuff differently, even if I wasn't in the Corps. I could still get my homework done. I'm fine. Like, I can just sit down and study for a couple hours. It's not a problem for me.
And you don't have to go to a volleyball game on Tuesday night, right? Or you don't have to get up and do PT. Okay, cuts into that. Those lazy non-regs, right? Who else said no? Chloe? Yeah. Why?
I thought because it made me more tired, so instead of paying attention to class, I slept through. But then thinking back, I think it has benefited from being in the Corps because I went to nursing school and the Corps had its own route for it.
Okay.
So that was beneficial.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Fair enough. Oh, interesting. Everyone here has made the Corps better. Yeah? How?
I'm just here. I'm just here and I'm changing things.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Definitely.
Good.
We're bringing up the next class, and the way we treat them is how they're probably going to treat their fish because they're going to go off of us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The better we do, the better they do.
Good.
And it'll just change the Corps eventually.
Okay. You're absolutely right. You can skip ahead to SOMS 481. Good job. Okay. What else? Who else? Why is the Corps? Jack, how do you make the Corps better?
Honestly, I don't know.
You just said yes? Who's the same boat as Jack? Who just said yes, but they're not really sure why?
I mean, I wasn't gonna say no.
Some people do, be honest, right? Some people think, and here's why I ask, okay? Because some people are just here. And a lot of you guys, and I'm so relieved, I think we talked about this in first or second class, okay? Title and rank don't matter to make change or impact, all right? They really don't, and a lot of people get hung up on that, right? We'll get into more of that as the semester goes on and even as SOMS goes on. It is absolutely true. A lot of people don't believe me. You guys are in a pretty good position. I think you guys realize that you can impact change. That is a great thing to know. Okay, but a lot of people say no because they're like, well, I'm not Corps commander. I can't do anything about it, right? And they literally think it takes until then to have an impact on the Corps, right? Or whatever the organization is. It doesn't have to be Corps. You're in a student org? Awesome. Be a part of one. I encourage you to. All right? Be a part of one that you want to see do good things or do better or whatever. Get involved. Or you can start your own. There's only like 10 million of them on campus. Okay? But we do get no's on here, right? Because people think they're just a cog in the machine. Okay? Some people with stars, they're like, well, they just like my GPA. Right? Or whatever it is. Okay? So hopefully you truly believe this and you are helping the Corps. You should respond without hesitating. Yep. Okay, why? Who said yes? Why?
YOLO. If I'm wrong, I mean, I can give another answer.
Okay, who said no? All right, why? Who haven't I picked on yet? Picked on everybody. Haley, you said no? Why?
I feel like I have to think things through before I talk.
Okay, good. Yeah, Jack?
I mean, this is the only question I hesitated on.
So maybe, maybe not?
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay, Alex, you said no?
No, I said yeah.
Okay, who else said, somebody else said no? Okay, cool. Why?
Just because I'm a real cognitive person and I like to think things over, and sometimes that can be a stumbling block for me.
Sure.
It's like I knew it was a big problem, like when I was doing like physics or some of those like high level academic stuff. Just second guessing myself over an answer, just because I want to make sure I get it right, but then sometimes I throw off my instinct.
How many of you, this year, like somebody asked you a campo or whatever, did any of you be like, hold on, let me think about it for a minute? Like, did you ever do that? Did that go over well? Probably not, right? Okay, now, is that a bad thing, Haley? No, why not? Look, rarely in life, okay, now it happens. Sometimes there's a deadline or something you got to do or whatever, okay, and some of you are trying to commission and all that good stuff. You're going to have similar experience at OCS, okay? Sometimes you just have to respond, okay? You can't tell the drill instructor, hang on a second, let me think about it, okay? It's not going to go well, okay? But rarely is that the case in life, and rarely when we're having dialogue, people, do you just need to answer right away. First day of class, I said, listen to understand, not just respond, okay? Some of you, you just think you're a little slow. Does anybody think they're a little slow? Nothing wrong with you guys. Nothing. In fact, you guys are usually right. Because those of us, myself included, who just respond, doesn't mean we got it right. Correct? We're like, we'll figure it out. You just give an answer, all right? Doesn't mean it's the right answer. Okay?
Like that Michael Scott quote where just says sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's gonna go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Woo, God, we're fairly live here. Small sample size. Willing to listen to understand new ideas. How about if they're political?
I think it's important to understand both sides, even if it's something you are very passionate about. I strongly believe that it's important to shut up and listen.
Good.
And most people don't do that.
Correct. Jack, were you shaking your head?
No, I'll listen. I'll
Okay.
understand.
Okay. This is statistically, you're probably overestimating yourselves a little bit. Statistically, all right, what the research says, because most of us do not do this, all right. And I'll tell you, dudes, all right. Tell me if I'm wrong. Pick on you. Well, I'm picking on everybody here for a minute. Okay. When my wife tells me about crappy things happening at work or whatever, okay, and I'm listening, I will then tell her maybe what to do to fix it. Does she want me to fix it, Haley? No. Chloe, does she want me to fix it? No. Why not?
She just wants you to hear from
Yes! Dudes, just shut up and listen. Okay, more engineers in here? You guys like to solve problems, right? Okay, Nate, you're screwed. Okay, you get married, it's gonna be hard for you. Okay, now he's tall, so that helps. Sorry, short guys, we're screwed. He's just tall. It's not fair. Okay? Hang in there. We're gonna make it. Okay. It's not about solving the problem. She doesn't want me to solve the problem. She honestly knows how to solve the problem. She just wants me to shut up and listen. That is a really hard thing for me. Okay, so for you dudes, I'm telling you, and it's not just that way, all right? Sometimes you just want to vent, right? You guys ever call your parents and you're bitching about school and stuff, and they tell you what to do? Do you listen to them? No, why not?
Just listen to me.
Yeah, you just want to bitch, right? You just want to complain. Mom, Dad, I don't want you to tell me how to fix it. I know how to fix it. Okay, you just want to unload. Okay, 100% true. This is a hard skill to learn, believe it or not. Okay, but good for you guys if you think that. Confident when I'm doing it A&M. Okay, good. Most of you are. Who said no? Who else? I got one more. So, nice and quiet. Okay, why, Jack?
I just don't see any direct, like, professional correlation to what I want to do in life, or
Okay.
even deciding what I want to do in life.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
like a professional school where I want to do this and this is a strict path to it.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
kind of a roundabout.
What's your major?
International studies,
What do you want to do?
work, optimizing globalization.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, you got a little broad. We got some stuff to work on. Good news is, man, you're a sophomore. You got time. It's the seniors that I worry about with. Haley?
I don't know. My major is really hard because I'm not doing as well as other people, so I feel like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be in this major at this school.
What's your major?
Nursing.
Nursing. Okay, cool. Right. So, I mean, you have to figure it out. And we'll get into that. That's where the grit, it's the passion, right? And the perseverance. It's the passion part that plays in, okay? There's another book, the 381 book is really fun because we get into a lot of the willpower stuff about it. So there's somebody running her first triathlon ever. And the swim goes great, the bike goes great, she's on the run, she's halfway through, she's killing it. And she's halfway through the run and she's like, I can't go on. Like my legs are done, they're hollow, I can't take another step, yet she's still running. And all that was playing in her head was the sound of the crowd and seeing people stand up and cheer her on. So it was literally like, okay, if you're struggling, but if I really want to be a nurse and help take care of people, that's what's going to get me through. So sometimes it's finding the motivation. Okay? We'll get into that more SOMS. Okay? But look, you are not alone. You guys are not alone by a long shot. A lot of people here, even in the Corps, don't. And what sucks really bad is a lot of people don't know what they want to do or if they're in the right major or whatever. What sucks really bad is those people that are counting on commissioning and something happens medically. Right? Their eyes are no good or whatever. They find something out late in the game. Man, that's where you see some, and then we usually get them transferred into SOMS late, and they hate us because they haven't had classes with us, right? That's where you see some people kind of really struggle with finding out what they want to do. Okay. What, did you have something to say?
That was me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Positive note, I had a student like that a couple years ago. He's a senior guy, was just a great kid. He was aerospace engineering, okay? No joke major, right? Excellent GPA, super nice, fit kid, like the kind of guy I want my daughters to date, right? And I found out through some of the discussion posts, all he ever wanted to do was serve his country. And medically, he couldn't. And usually when I hear that, I'm like, you need to go get 5, 10 opinions. Don't just take one opinion. Like, don't ever give up, okay? Just keep trying until they tell you no 100 times. And he really struggled with it, turned to his faith and everything. Well, he said, I can serve my country other ways, right? And so, fortunately, a guy that I know works for, well, they got bought, but it's a NASA company. It was Northrop Grumman, somebody bought them, Orbital ATK or something like that. They're now building the lunar module that's going to orbit the moon. I call it Space Buckies. Okay, I told him he needs to call it that. We're going to try and get that training. Okay, so you guys help me out. So he's building this module that's going to orbit the moon that'll be the go-between between Earth and Mars. Unbelievably cool, right? Like I got to go in the thing, like the mock-up of it. It was incredible. They were hiring an intern, and I got him an interview. He did the rest. He got the interview and everything like that. And he's like, that's how I'm going to serve my country, okay, by innovation and what we're going to do and everything. To me, that's a really cool story. That's someone who took a hardship and said, I can still figure it out. So don't lose sight of that, okay, when you guys are dealing with this stuff. Unrelated sidebar. Confident I'll succeed in the workforce, okay? Most of you do. Who said no? Okay, hang in there. You'll be okay, all right? And a lot of you, again, you're going to get in the workforce and be like, yeesh, I don't know if I picked the right major. I don't know if I like what I do. Don't panic, all right? You got time to figure that out. You will have at least a degree, okay? And it'll get you through. All right, take life after college. You're all wrong. It's way worse. the best time of your life. Never leave.
That's why
Never
it's
leave
scary.
here. Huh?
That's why it's scary.
Yeah, okay, good. Fair enough. Some of you got that part right. Okay. Did we talk about this last week? Who thinks like it'll be awesome? I won't have to take tests and I won't have to study. I'll just have my job, make money. I don't have to PT. Who thinks like that's what it's going to be like? Yeah. Okay. Fine. The rest of you may not admit it. You're the only one honestly telling the truth. Okay. Yeah, it's not that simple, unfortunately. It will be for a little bit, right? It'll be fun for a while. It's just you. You only have to take care of yourself, do your job. Yeah, but life tends to pile stuff on. So never leave here. Moral of SOMS. Stay in school as long as you can. Okay. Passive aggressive when it comes to resolving conflict. Okay. Please don't ever say this in an interview. I ask this because this is actually, and for those of you who said true, again, not alone, this is not a good skill. Okay? Be aware of this and work on it. If you are passive aggressive, find ways to be more direct. Okay? And I won't single you. I used to kind of ask who, but I don't really want to single anybody out here. Okay? But if I come up to Lane, okay, and I don't like Lane, okay, but if I come up to Lane and be like, hey Lane, I don't like you, what do you think?
Screw you.
Yeah. Does Lane care? No. He doesn't care. Okay? Try to be direct in resolving conflict. This is also a very hard skill. A lot of people, even those you guys that said false, I hope that you're direct. Because what happens when people don't like each other in the court? They talk shit behind their back all the time, right? Okay? If you ever find out somebody doesn't like you, call them on it. Walk up. Be like, hey, Alex, I heard you don't like me. Why? Watch what they do. Super entertaining. Okay? Usually they'll squirm. Or they'll be honest. And then you can work it out. And Alex, did I say you don't like me or I don't like you?
I think you said I don't like you.
Okay, you don't like me. All right. If Alex comes up and like, tells me he doesn't like me, I'm like, why? And he's like, well, you say right and okay all the time in class. I'm like, okay. Good to know. I can work on that. Right? See? Okay. So it might actually help you. All right, we got a few to go. As a parent, yeah, okay, scared, yeah. Raising kids is an opportunity to screw up a new human from scratch. Okay, so hang in there. Good. But oh, you can try. Good stuff. I like it. By the way, call your parents, tell them you're sorry. Okay, I'm good at resolving conflict. Again, there should have been 4 of you. Anybody who said passive aggressive, you are not good at resolving conflict. Okay? Most of you, again, statistically, you're overestimating yourself here. I hope you are, but statistically, we tend to not be very good at this. All right? Definitely something that needs to be worked on. Judgmental non-regs. What? So you said false? Liars. We'll see about this. Okay. So we're more judgmental of other outfits than non-regs.
I think it's because it's more of an organizational basis versus an individual.
My thinking behind it was, I've got a standard I can hold up to other outfits. Non-regs are kind of doing their own thing.
Exactly, so don't you just hate them? Yeah.
Okay, then look at this. You're even more judgmental of people in your own outfit. Which means you like non-regs more than your buddies sometimes, right? Okay, fair enough, okay? Some of them just have longer hair, right? You're just jealous. Man, want to grow it out, have a mullet? No, you're high and tight full time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, right? So, we're all pretty different there. Generally resistant to change. Yeah, again, this, not too surprising, we're kind of split here. For those of you in the Corps, this can be a hard thing. You guys tend to like regiment, discipline, routine, all that good stuff, whether you really know it or not. That's okay. Again, good thing to be aware of about yourself. Prefer the path of least resistance. True. Who said false? Who likes the hard road? Alex, why?
It's more rewarding.
Okay, good. I will take it. I'll do more. We're going to run out of time. Look, good. Yeah, okay. This tends to be the case. A lot of you guys like fun. I've cheated academically here. Yep, at least 6 of you. And 2 of you lied. So, before 9 a.m., you lied and cheated. Okay? Texas A&M, which Aggies never do. Okay?
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly, right? Yeah, okay, look. Do we lie? All the time. Who do we lie to most?
Ourselves.
And? Good. You guys are paying attention. All right. Yeah. You tend to lie to yourself more than anyone. Okay. Awesome, flawed. Yeah, all the above, of course. Yeah. Okay. That should always be your answer. All right. Let's see if you were. Yeah. Okay. Good. At least one of you is honest. Okay. Oh, liars. Lied already again. Okay. Why would I show you guys this? Why would we do this? Just for fun? Why would I do this?
It lets us get a better perspective on our peers.
Yeah, okay, on your peers, and that maybe you're not all alike. Why else? Why would we do this? Chloe, why would I do this to you guys? Take a guess.
To better ourselves and be more self-aware.
Bingo. Look at that. Were you scared to answer?
Yes.
You gave the absolute right answer. Here's what we're working on, guys. Okay, we're going to show you your strengths, things that you're good at. You need to be able to tell that story. Okay? You need to be able to articulate who you are. Because when you have interviews, things like that, most of you say, I'm a cadet in such and such outfit, and I'm majoring in industrial distribution, and I'm from so-and-so. Okay, great. You and how many other hundreds, if not thousands? Okay? You have to be able to articulate you and your story. Okay? I'm good at these 5 things. I have this ability when I put my passion, my perseverance, I will find a way to get things done. Okay? I like Mad Taco. Okay? All that plays in, believe it or not, all right? You have to be able to articulate your authentic self. You touched on a great point with learning how to be ahead, right? How many of you came into sophomore year and were like, well, I'm just going to do what they did last year? Right? How many of you thought, maybe I can do it a little differently? Right? Or how many of you were thinking, this is not the way to make me a better person when you were fish? How many of you were sitting there like, I'm a good person, why are you yelling at me? Right? You didn't like it, did you? Okay, good. Okay? You have to be able to articulate that. We're going to work on it. Yay! Everyone excited? Believe me. Okay, so we are now turning our attention. This is your assignment for the week, and I just want to touch on it briefly here. Okay? This is the start of the ALDP, the Individual Leadership Development Plan. The one for this semester is relatively short. Okay? It's pretty short, so please give me effort. All right? What you're going to do is answer these 2 questions. Okay? I will post this and consider kind of what we've talked about. Consider the things that we're working on. Consider the things that the book has mentioned, and we'll get more into it. All right? But you need to be able to articulate who you are in a positive, strong way. Stand out. Okay? Probably don't bring up passive aggressive, but maybe mention some of your strengths, right? We told you what you're good at. Okay? You need to be able to articulate who you guys are. You kind of need to be able to tell your story. A lot of cadets, I think, are very aware to not sound like they're bragging. You guys are pretty good at trying to be humble, even if you don't really believe it. I think you kind of know you're not supposed to sound like a pompous ass. That's okay. But guess what? You're trying to get the best job available, right? Or you're trying to get into nursing school, okay? You need to be able to tell us why you're awesome, right? So we're going to work a little bit on the who am I, okay? And then the authentic piece, okay? When you've seen people in the Corps, outside the Corps, other parts of your life, coaches, teachers, whatever, family members, all right, that you think are genuine, right? And you like them for that. You think they are a good, authentic leader or whatever it is, consider that, okay? Because we're trying to figure it out ourselves a little bit here. Even some of you guys said with the grit scale, you're like, I don't really get what this is for. Okay? Fair enough. We're going to work on that. But consider the authentic piece, because we want you guys to be genuine, right? If you go get a job and you lied your ass off on your application, okay, it will catch up with you, all right? I know a lot of people think they're supposed to do that when they apply for jobs or even when they interview. Don't do that. Don't lie. Okay? You don't always have to tell the whole truth, but you don't want to lie. Okay? It'll get you into more trouble than it's worth. Questions about this week's assignment? Yes, sir.
What kind of answers or how long are we aiming for?
I don't really want to put a length on it. Again, just give me effort. Here's the thing. I should know that it's you. Anyone who reads it should know that it's you. So particularly in the first one, you don't want to be the super generic person that doesn't tell me about you. Okay, so you want to make it specific to you. Here's the other hard part with SOMS. A lot of you guys just consider this an assignment and I'll get it done. So you speak in generalities. Well, I'm a part of the Corps and I go to Texas A&M, whatever. No, tell me about you. Okay, it needs to be specific. Can we do that? Okay. Some of you will find this very challenging, harder than you should be, but take a look at yourself and we'll figure it out. Again, we take it in chunks so that I can give you a little feedback and we'll work on it. And the goal is to help you improve on this as we go through the semester. Sound good? Cool. Any questions? Did we learn anything today? Try an Alberta?
No, where's the nearest one? It's like Houston, isn't it?
There's one in Katy. There's one in Waco. I think Austin has several. Yeah. So yeah, nothing too close, but give it a shot. Okay. But nobody. You don't have to go to Taco Casa. Okay. Cool. Be awesome. Have a wonderful week.